Good morning. It's Wednesday, October 30th. Here's what we're working on. Ontario's finance minister set to table his fall economic statement today.
Bloc Québécois, they're going to work with the other opposition parties to bring down the Liberal government after they failed to deliver what they wanted.
And the New York Yankees stay alive in the World Series. Good morning. It sure doesn't feel like October, the end of October outside today.
It's downright balmy.
It's warm.
I got in the car and it said 19, Steve.
Yeah, and it's going to feel like the mid-20s today and tomorrow with humidity. So
it's
wow.
Okay, quickly, you did say there was going to be rain yesterday, and did it ever rain?
Yes.
And I didn't bring my umbrella, and I got caught in it.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, running from here to my car, and got a little soggy. But then it cleared up in the afternoon, and those warm temperatures came.
That's right, and we've got a couple more days of nice conditions, and then we get back to seasonal, back to normal. But before we get to that, we'll look at that in a little while. But just after 6 o'clock on your Wednesday, let's have a look and see what's happening on the highways right now. Moving through Aldershot, we do see things moving along in pretty good shape, but building up as we. Let's start down around Niagara like we like to start with and give us an idea what's happening down in that area. Looking at the Skyway westbound, and the traffic's very, very light right now, much the same as you get into Ontario Street. Moving through Hamilton, though, starting to slow down already, so a good start to the day as far as volume is concerned. For sure, maybe it'll go away a lot faster, but it's a little slow right there now. Guelph Line moving along there, east and west, looks in pretty good shape. Up by the Ford plant, we're still just seeing things moving along nicely. 403 west of King Road, no problems. Glen Erin Drive up by Pearson Airport, seeing traffic moving along okay, but of course starting to build right now. 401 Allen Road, see no problems out there, and we do have one camera that's down right now, but down and towards Niagara is the quietest right now, and usually is this time of day, but building up here. Quick look again at the Burlington Skyway Bridge eastbound, moving from Stony Creek into the Hamilton and Burlington area, so a little on the slow side. So we'll just be watching that one for you this morning, but so far no accidents, no major problems, no construction causing any problems, so that's some good news. So we'll update everything for you and have a look at the weather in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, Ontario's finance minister is going to table the province's fall economic statement a little bit later today. The premier is calling it quite ambitious. Simone Gavros joins us with more on what to expect. She's in downtown Burlington this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Anna. Well, Premier Doug Ford says that the plan being tabled today will be focusing on building highways, homes, and hospitals. But we did see a bit of a preview of what we can expect to see today after the announcement yesterday of this $3 billion plan to hand out $200 checks. That's expected to be rolled out sometime early next year. And how it's going to work is that tax residents in Ontario, 18 or over, who filed a 2023 tax return, will get a $200 check. People who were bankrupt or in jail convicted of a crime in 2024 will not. Now, parents will get an additional $200 for each child under 18, and the government says they're able to afford all of this because of higher than expected revenues. So far, opposition parties say that the checks will not solve the affordability crisis and consider them a bribe. Now, the Ford government also said earlier this week that they plan to extend the gas and fuel tax cuts as part of the economic statement. This would ensure rates remain at 9 cents per litre until the end of June. A provincial news release says that this would save Ontario households $380 on average over the 3 years since this was first introduced. Ford says the economic update maintains his government's path to balance, which had the province running deficits until 2027 in the spring budget. Now, this morning, I'll be speaking to people here in downtown Burlington for more on what they want to see in this upcoming economic statement that's going to be announced later this afternoon, as well as what they're going to hope to do with this $200 check they'll be getting sometime next year. For now, something's back over to you, Tim.
All right, thanks, Simone. Let's head to Ottawa now for federal politics. And the Bloc Québécois, they say it's beginning to start to talk to bring down the Liberal government, but will not support anything that is not in Quebec's best interests.
Our party position is exactly what we said 5 weeks ago. The government was invited to pass into laws two bills that came from the Bloc Québécois but were approved and supported by all parties in the Parliament. They had until October 29th, which is today, to deliver that, which they did not do. We said 5 weeks ago that if we were not to receive that, if 4 million of Canadians between 65 and 74 years old were not to receive what we asked, if producers under supply management regime were not to get what we asked, we were to start discussing with opposition parties in order to have this government fall. And this is exactly what we are starting to do as of now.
That was Bloc leader Yves-Francois Blanchet. Conservatives, they have 3 more chances this fall to try and bring down the government, but succeeding would also require NDP support. Meantime, the Liberal caucus is preparing to meet today as calls continue for a secret ballot on the Prime Minister's future. A group of 24 Liberal MPs signed a letter last week asking Justin Trudeau to resign. Trudeau announced the next day that he was staying. PEI Liberal MP Sean Casey says allowing a secret ballot would put the issue to rest, regardless of the outcome. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland threw cold water on the idea at a news conference, saying that's just not how the Liberal Party operates.
Niagara police are investigating an explosion outside a school in Grimsby. It happened early yesterday afternoon in a garbage bin outside Central French Immersion on Bolton Avenue in Grimsby. A woman who works at the school was taken to hospital with minor injuries. The school was placed under a lock and learn protocol, with students eventually moved to a nearby location for dismissal. St. Andrew's Anglican Church daycare nearby was also evacuated. Well, the OPP has cracked a robbery ring which has been traumatizing bank employees for nearly a year and a half. The investigation started with one robbery in 2022. Police say the group stole more than $2 million in a series of 8 heists, one of them in Niagara Falls. Surveillance video shows the robbers walking into banks just before they closed with their faces covered. They were holding handguns, carrying duffel bags, and sometimes what appears to be rope. They then locked the bank doors. In 6 of these robberies, bank employees were tied up.
There is 4 individuals currently charged with various robberies in different locations, and a 5th individual that is currently wanted. We believe there is a link between all of them.
4 men were arrested earlier this year, and they are facing a combined total of 53 charges. A 32-year-old man from Ajax is still wanted. His name is Hakeem Williams. Police say no weapons have been recovered, and none of the $2 million that was stolen has been recovered either. The OPP also sending out reminders to both pedestrians and drivers. As we get close to Halloween tomorrow, OPP are reminding those collecting candy to wear bright reflective clothing or carry a flashlight to increase their visibility. Trick-or-treaters also being encouraged to travel with a buddy or an adult and use sidewalks and crosswalks when they're available. Drivers are being urged to go slow and be vigilant in neighborhoods. Also watch for children who may suddenly dart out into the road very excited for all that candy.
Halloween tomorrow? It's weird. I have 3 young children at home. I definitely know that.
You know that.
Let's get to Sportsline. There was a chance the baseball season could come to an end last night in New York with the Dodgers up 3-0 on the Yankees. And in the 24 times a team has gone up 3-0, 21 of them have ended in a sweep.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Cranks a ball, deep left field. Volpe with redemption.
Not this time. New York native Anthony Volpe, who grew up a Yankees fan, hit the historic smack, a grand slam in the 3rd to give the Bronx Bombers the power source they needed and a big Game 4 win. Austin Wells, Gleyber Torres also went yard as they stay alive and force a 5th game tonight back at Yankee Stadium after the 11-4 drubbing. History is not on their side as no team has come back from 3-0 down to win the World Series. Actually, no team has forced a Game 6, which Garrett Cole and the Yankees will try to do tonight.
A little bit of everything. Lead changes. Here's a loose puck. Side of the goal. They try and jam it in. Do they score? Yes, sir.
Yeah, they did. To Peterborough. Rare Tuesday night game for the first place Niagara Ice Dogs up against the winless and last place Pete's. This one closer than their records, though, as Ethan Zada getting the Dogs on the board at the end of the first. But Niagara needed a 37-save effort from Oren Flores and a shootout winner from Ryan Roback to escape with the 2-1 win. They're now 10-3 on the season, tops in the Eastern Conference. They host Barrie on Friday. Big news for the other OHL club in the area is the Brantford Bulldogs have recalled import defenseman Adam Juracek to the club. 18-year-old from Czechia, who was selected 16th overall by the St. Louis Blues in this year's draft, comes to Brantford as one of the top defensive prospects in the world. His brother David plays for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and his good buddy is a current Bulldog. He's defenseman and Ottawa Senators prospect Thomas Hamara. Let's continue talking about Michael Anlauer's other team.
And now Ottawa numbers. As Stützle comes in, shoots, and he scores.
Yeah, the Ottawa Senators for the Sens gave the visiting St. Louis Blues the Blues after a delay to start this one, but the offensive power from Ottawa was on display as they put up 8 goals, which included 2 goals from each. Tim Stützle, Brady Tkachuk, and Adam Gaudette in an 8-1 drubbing. The game was delayed when the power went out at the Canadian Tire Centre with electrical storms in the area, delaying it for a little bit. We also saw an 8 spot in Montreal, where it was a big night for Six Nations Brandon Montour. So after winning the Cup with Florida, Montour signed with Seattle as a free agent, and he recorded his first ever hat trick in Montreal, lighting the lamp twice in the second, adding another in the third for a natural hat trick in a 8-2 win of the Habs. Kraken now head this way to face Toronto and the Maple Leafs tomorrow night. And finally, we are a month away from the Professional Women's Hockey League of the PWHL from kicking off their second season on November the 30th. And coming off the success of their inaugural season, they are exploring expansion. The possibility of adding 2 franchises for their third season in 2025. The league is starting a request for proposal process with the hopes of growing to 8 teams. One of the markets in this country is Quebec City. Other cities in the mix are said to be Detroit and Pittsburgh. Might be a little tight, but to put another pro team in Hamilton, there is going to be a fancy new rink opening up in a year or so. So
that idea.
Expansion, hopefully, in Hamilton's future as well.
Okay, let's have a look and see what's happening traffic-wise for us. Go back to the Burlington Skyway Bridge. We saw it just a few minutes ago at 6:13 on your Wednesday, by the way. Quite slow eastbound. Why is that? Well, we just look ahead a little ways. We can see you're coming back the other way. Very, very slow, and it's not just volume. We're just told that there's a left lane and the shoulder's blocked with an accident coming down the hill, so into the Burlington side of things. So, again, that will be slow for a while before they get that cleaned up. Haven't a chance to look at it too much, but otherwise on the roads we're looking pretty good. Up by Pearson, traffic's moving along in good shape. Along the QEW we're seeing no major problems, so that one area is what we're watching right now, which is Burlington Skyway Bridge eastbound or heading Toronto bound, if you want to call it that. And again, the left lane and shoulder are blocked. All right, let's check your weather right now and see what's going on. So we're looking for a lot of warmth again today. If you like yesterday, it didn't got up to 19. We thought maybe 20, but it got up to 18.8 or something like that. Today, we're looking for a little warmer than that and with some humidity on top of that, because we have the combination of high pressure and low pressure, which is funneling up all kinds of warm air. But coming with that low, it's a Colorado low tomorrow, Halloween, of course. We have the possibility of some showers rolling through. Still about a 40% chance of that. But again, while the bulk of the rain goes to the north, we'll see some here and a slight chance of a thunderstorm. When will it occur? We're looking anywhere right now between 5 and 6, but it looks like things are delaying a little bit, so it may not be. But right now, we're saying 5 to 6 p.m. That's when we're going to see some showers roll through or start to roll through into the evening time. So trick-or-treaters may want to get out there early to get things done. And then we're back into some high pressure again after that. Right now, temperatures certainly, Hamilton was, 4 degrees yesterday at this time, 18 today. Quite warm out there. And as we look ahead to your almanac, sun will be up at 7:53 a.m., down at 6:13 p.m. Normal highs, 20 degrees, or rather 10 degrees, but we're going to be 22 today, 50-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts, and feeling like 25 with partly clear skies. So that's a look at things for now. We'll look at the extended forecast, talk more about Halloween coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, we're going to talk more with Emily Vukovic. She's got a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat coming up. And in business news, despite market challenges, a new poll shows more young Canadians plan to buy a home. And a very good morning to Emily Vukovic. Nice to have you back today.
Hi, good morning. Well, I thought I'd come back just in time for Halloween.
Okay.
Because let's face it, I love the candy.
I love your costume today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so that is what we are going to be focusing on. We're going to be talking about Halloween spending. So think how much you've actually spent on Halloween this year, and we'll compare ourselves to others.
Okay.
We're going to discuss the new Scary Movie. It's been since 2013 since we've seen one, so there's another one coming out next year. And Gordon Lightfoot, there's an auction going on showcasing some of his most valuable prized possessions.
Okay, good. Okay. I was talking to the couch yesterday. It missed you, so it's going to be good to be back sitting on it.
I'll be glad to see it again.
There's a big smile on the couch.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see you in a little bit.
All right. Going to take a look at some business figures right now. The Canadian dollar is up 6 basis points this morning in overseas trading just below 72 cents U.S. Gold is up more than $11 at $2,793 an ounce, and crude oil is up 84 cents, just above $68 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are down in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are up in Tokyo, down in Hong Kong and Shanghai. North American markets on Tuesday, nothing substantial. Slight losses for the TSX, slight gains for the Dow Jones on Wall Street. Some bigger gains for tech sector in the NASDAQ, up 145. Let's see how they do on this second last day of October. It is Wednesday, October the 30th.
Well, a new report says that while fewer young Canadians own a home compared to 3 years ago, they hope to buy one soon. Scotiabank's 2024 housing poll says the number of Canadians between 18 and 34 who own a home has dropped to 26%. That's down from 47% in 2021. Nearly a third of people in that age group now live with parents or other family members. The survey says 58% of the 18 to 34-year-olds are still determined to buy their first home in the next 5 years.
Statistics Canada's latest financial security survey, it shows a real stark disparity between the wealth of homeowners and renters. The survey shows families who own their home and had a pension, they had a median net worth of $1.4 million yet last year, while renters without a pension had a median net worth of just shy of $12,000. It was a similar picture for families whose main earner was younger than 35. The median net worth of those who owned their own home was about $457,000 compared to $44,000 for those who did not.
The union Unifor has filed for conciliation in its contract talks with one of Canada's big railways. The union, representing more than 1,200 workers at Canadian Pacific Kansas City, CPKC, says negotiations have reached an impasse. At issue, high levels of contracting out, forced overtime, and company policies that the union says hurt work-life balance. This comes after the railway company, as well as CN, dealt with a big labor dispute over the summer that saw a temporary work stoppage, halting freight, shipments, and snarling commuter lines across Canada.
Well, it sure is nice walking outside this morning. It's a nice warm push of air. How long is it going to last for? Steve has that answer when we come back after this.
Welcome back to Morning Live, 6:24 on your Wednesday. We're watching the Burlington Skyway Bridge. This is, of course, Toronto bound, and we're wondering why it's so slow. Well, it's so slow because there's an accident just to the lower part of your screen. We can't really see it, but it's really keeping things on the slow side moving through the area. Let's see how far back that goes. Centennial Parkway looks like it's starting to slow up a little bit, so it is getting a sizable slowdown behind it. And again, this is on the Burlington Skyway Bridge. This is Toronto bound. And there's a left lane and the shoulder blocked right now. And so just if you can, avoid that area. A lot of you can't avoid that area, but if you can, please do so. But by the time you do get around the corner there to go offline, starting to see things build up, but traffic's moving in pretty good shape. All right, let's have a look at weather for us. Checking the temperatures outside as we speak. Remember yesterday Hamilton was like 4 or 5 degrees at this time. 18 today. Grimsby 17, Toronto 14, Mississauga 15 degrees. So quite warm, and it will be more than double what it should be for this time of year. As we get up to 4 p.m., look at temperatures in around 21, maybe 22, and humidity making it feel a couple of degrees warmer than that. So we do have some gorgeous temperatures for today and tomorrow. Your evening commute will be under partly clear skies, mostly what we'll see today. Again, temperatures in around the 20 to 22 degree range, and the extended forecast shows feeling like 25 today. Tomorrow, Halloween, feeling like 26 with a high of 23. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Time-wise now, looking at it between 5 and 6 in the evening, just when the trick-or-treating kind of starts. So earlier the better. But it looks like there is a trend that maybe the system is slowing down a bit and may come in a little bit later. So let's hope that that happens. But get your trick-or-treating over earlier probably is a good idea. Friday, back into the sun. However, look at the difference in temperatures, back to more seasonal conditions. And of course, Saturday night turning the clocks back 1 hour back to standard time. So again, maybe do the trick-or-treats tomorrow a little bit earlier because that rain will be coming and maybe a thunderstorm as well. That's it.
Trick-or-treating earlier, huh? It's a tough one to kind of...
It's good for us, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of water, something special about the first dip in it, especially for a little hippo.
I want you to meet Tony, a baby hippo. At the Berlin Zoo, who explored the water for the first time right here. So Tony was, hey, there you go, there you go. Was born in June, named after, hey-oh.
What do I do?
Named after German soccer star Antonio Rudiger. And Tony is still learning the basics of the natural aquatic instincts. But you see what Tony kind of is doing there? I apologize if you're listening to our podcast. The zoo director says hippos don't actually swim or crawl like some other animals out there. What they're doing is they're running underwater.
They run on the ground, on the surface.
Hey, Tony.
And do you know that they can stay underwater for 8 minutes,
Okay,
I think?
that was my other question.
And then they just
that
kind of balloon up and, yeah.
Luckily, you are a resident hippo expert, so we have you sitting at the desk for
yes, I know
useless information like that.
It's not useless.
Well, not today. Make sure you tell some of your trick-or-treaters tomorrow maybe that info when they're coming to the door early.
We'll be back right after the break. We're going to have a talk.
Got to go.